Am I the asshole for letting an infant I work with get attached to me? I am on mobile. Sorry for formatting. So I am a nursery worker. I work Monday to Friday open to close 6 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. and my classroom is the infant classroom, which due to COVID only has 3 babies at the moment, 2 part-time and 1 full-time, but the full-time baby is their open to close MF despite the mom not working. I know this because the mom talks about how bored she gets being home all day. I am with this baby 60 hours a week, and being an infant teacher I do have to hold her, feed her, put her down for nap, and developmentally play with her to do my job correctly. Recently the baby has been fussing when the mom comes to pick up at 7:30 p.m. screams and cries and the mom gets frustrated. This goes on for a few weeks. Yesterday the mom walks into my classroom during nap for the infants noon, yelling about how I've emotionally manipulated her baby into hating her. Of course this wakes up all of the infants and I have to pick all 3 of them up and soothe them while the mom is yelling that I need to be fired. The director walks in and tries to calm her down and she asks me what the issue is and I said, the baby has been fussy when the mom picks up. That's when the mom goes on her spiel again about how I emotionally manipulated her infant, and I was expecting my director to back me up because that's ludicrous when the director blames me for letting the infant get too attached to me, and I explained that if the infant spends 60+ hours with me a week and I am basically a full-time caretaker that she will of course become attached to me. The mom continues to yell at me saying she's gonna file a complaint against me with the state for emotional abuse, and my director is demoting me from head teacher to assistant teacher for it, saying that children shouldn't be attached to their temporary caretakers, and although some of the other teachers are taking my side saying that if the mom spent more time with her baby the baby wouldn't react to her that way, other teachers say I should have paid less attention to the baby so it wouldn't get attached. Edit. After reading all your comments, my faith that I am not in the wrong has been restored, and I am contacting the Department of Human Services for my state to make sure everything my director is doing is even legal and that she's legally allowed to be the director, which is crazy to say. I am also gonna reach out to CPS again because the mother is concerning. I am also contacting a pro bono employment lawyer because I was demoted for this. I thank you all for the advice as well you've given me. I've only been a nursery teacher for a year and it's actually disturbing that the ones who were telling me to pay less attention to the baby have been in this industry for 10+ years. Edit number 2. Apparently word spread to the other 2 infant room parents, both who are on my side. They want to make sure I am taken care of because I treat their babies so well. Edit number 3. For those asking where the dad is, he is a surgeon. I've met him a few times. He's a nice person. He sends updates and communicates decently. Edit number 4. For those of you wondering why I work such long hours, it's what I agreed to over a year ago. When I was hired I was 19 and nowhere would hire me because I wasn't a mom, something I was told a lot. So when this director was willing to hire me at $13 an hour but said it's gonna be long days until someone else can come in from too close, and I just needed to get my foot in the door, so I accepted. And to be honest, working that many hours means I don't have to pull out student loans right now while I am finishing my bachelor's. Not the asshole. This is unbelievable behavior from the director and the mom. How could you possibly emotionally manipulate a baby? It's a baby. She hangs out with you all the time. Of course she will bond with you. These folks sound unhinged. They are tush here for getting mad at you for doing your job well. Not the asshole at all. I love that my daughter is attached to her caregiver. It means she's being treated well. She's still happy to see me, of course, but these people are absolutely insane to think these children won't bond with you, and it's impossible to expect that. I'd find another job personally.
Not the asshole. This is how babies work, not just normally bonding with whoever spends the most time with them, but also just randomly shifting around their affection where they wilt. A person who works in childcare proclaiming, children shouldn't be attached to their temporary caretakers, is dangerously incompetent. Dear God, teachers are suggesting you neglect an infant significant other. IT will like you less. These are monster assholes.
Boomer thinks you have a shit director. Not the asshole.
Not the asshole at all. If mom spent more time with the baby this would not be happening and she would not be the R. Also your boss is an asshole for demoting you. If it were me I think I would be searching for another job.
Not the asshole. How can you pay less attention to a baby that needs lots of attention? You're with the kid more than half the day. The mom is just projecting because she apparently can't deal with her own kid.
Not the asshole. This honestly breaks my heart. This poor baby is the one getting punished most in this situation. Is there anyone higher up that you can go to?
If you work in the U.S., you're a mandatory reporter. Call your state's warm line and discuss with them. It's possible the mother's actions could fall under neglect and emotional abuse, and then you have a obligation to call services on her. Also, you can report your boss to the state licensing board and possibly pursue legal avenues since your demotion had nothing to do with the safety of the child. I realize things differ state to state and it may be different where you live. I am an infant room supervisor and you can PM me if you'd like more info.
Just give them what they want. And I drop a tip that the baby might be neglected. If mom is only taking care of the physical health, then the baby will pay. Not the asshole. How the mom can't work out that her infant will see you as a positive caregiver is behind me. I also can't believe your boss didn't back you up.
Not the asshole. What in the actual hell? If she wants to be absent for 60 hours a week, she had to expect that. I get that it can be heartbreaking, but she needs to get past that and be happy someone is loving and caring for her child. I can't believe you got demoted over this. This is absolutely not your fault and just goes to show you what a great caregiver you actually are. Keep up the good work and I'm sorry for your experience. Not the asshole. I used to work at a preschool and bonding with the babies means you're good at your job. It's honestly, in my opinion, abandonment to leave a baby at a daycare for 60 hours a week. The mom isn't a parent in the baby's eyes at that point, for good reason.
Hi, short additional question. Are you really working 60 plus H per week? Are you okay? I hope they at least pay you appropriately. And please take care of yourself, and also take time for yourself. As an early childhood educator, this is so upsetting. Are you the only one in your infant room? You can't emotionally manipulate an infant into being bonded with you. Also, your hours are insane for you and for the child. It's so important for children to have attachments and relationships with us. They learn from us as much as their parents. It's not okay in the slightest for your director to ream you out and demote you for doing your job. If mom wants to bond with her baby more, then that is on her. She can pick up her child up sooner, spend more time with her. You can't neglect the emotional needs of a child any more than you can neglect any other aspect of their development. It's abuse. NTA in the slightest. I am so upset for you. Not the asshole at all. I'm a director and you should be reporting your director for not reporting the incident to the state that a child doesn't like to go home with its mother. That's one of those red flags. And also, you work open to close give days a week. That's insane. And it is totally normal for a child to be attached to their teacher and is in fact encouraged. A caregiver has to have a trusting relationship with a child in order to provide the best care and education. The mom is insane and sounds like she needs to be reported for possible negligence, and your director has her priorities completely misplaced. Your relationship with the baby is exactly what early childhood education is all about. You should find a new center to work at. Info: will you update this when your boss gets fired for telling you to be less attentive to the children in your care?
Not the asshole. It's clear that the mother does not spend any quality time with her baby when she does have her at home, so no wonder this has happened. Children will naturally gravitate to people who care for and respect them. The director is being ridiculous. Can they truthfully say that this wouldn't have happened if a different teacher was caring for the baby?
Info: where do you live that it's normal for daycares to be open those hours? And for them to run a single shift during that period?
There are 168 hours in a week. The OP is spending just over a third of the child's time with the child. She is also interacting with her. It's easy to imagine that another third of the child's time is spent thinking. The final third is spent with mom and dad, if he is in the picture. If he is, it's possible that he's the primary caretaker during that third. Mom seems to be worried about her baby bonding but doesn't want to do the work of bonding the baby to herself. OP not the asshole.
I think you might do better looking on a professional site for childcare training and development. Which I might add your employer could probably use too.
Not the asshole, they're nuts. My younger son became very attached to one of his caregivers. It's understandable. He was with this person from 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. each day, of course he'd get attached. I didn't take it personally, was glad that he felt so loved and cared for during the day. If it's so important that this child be attached only to her, then she shouldn't be leaving the child with a caregiver for 60 hours a week.
Not the asshole, and the word is ludicrous. Ludicrous is the rapper.
WTAF. Mom doesn't work. And leaves her baby at daycare for 60 hours a week? Not the asshole. Poor child at least has you to care for him, her.
I'm shocked parents are allowed in. We haven't been allowed inside my kids' daycare since March. Not the asshole. 6 to 7:30 is basically all the waking hours of a baby. I had to send my baby when they were 6 months to daycare. I'd be thrilled to know that my baby were well taken care of enough that they loved the teachers. It sucks for the mom, but it sounds like the baby has stopped recognizing them as the primary caretaker and might have done stranger danger fear going on.
Not the asshole. I'm so sorry you are going through this, but what does mom expect when she drops her kid off on someone else for hours at a time? Of course the baby is going to be attached to you. That means you are doing your job properly. It's not your fault the baby can sense who actually cares about her and who doesn't. Please don't take it so hard. Mom probably feels like a failure as a parent and is unfairly taking it out on you. 60+ hours is a lot of time to spend with an infant. If she wanted the baby to bond with her, she should have kept the baby at home instead of prioritizing her own free time.
That mom and your director are both idiots. What are you supposed to do with an infant? Just look but don't touch? I'm the lead teacher of the older infant room at the daycare I work at, and I know from experience when a baby gets attached to you, it means you are doing a good job of filling that child's needs. These babies are with us more during the week than with their own parents. If that mom truly cared about her baby, she wouldn't leave her there literally all day. That poor baby is attached to you because you are giving it the love, attention, and care it deserves. I'm sorry to hear you're stuck with a sucky director. Our center was once stuck with an "it's about the money and not the kids" type of director.
Not the asshole. So instead, you should neglect the baby until it no longer feels comforted around you. Because I'm not sure any other way they expect you to do it. I would have more sympathy for the mother if she was working all those hours and was feeling heartbroken that her baby prefers someone else. I would have sympathy. I would not agree with any behavior to change your actions because you're doing everything to be a wonderful caretaker. But you're telling me she has no job and just sits at home while you take care of your child.
Not the asshole mum isn't around, so the baby isn't going to bond with her. That's on her, not you.
Not the asshole. I'm the mama in this situation. I had a very fussy baby and had to go back to work when she was 3 months old. I put her in daycare and it was hard because many of the workers couldn't calm her down. Until they had Dana come in. She was calm and able to calm my baby down. They both got very attached. My daughter is now 6 and Dana is still in her life. They're extremely close as Dana is now Aunt Dana.
Info: have you actually been demoted? On what grounds, exactly? Like what was written in your file.
Not the asshole. My first would unload on me when she was an infant in daycare because I was mom, and when I was back it felt safe. Pickup most days went, happy, nurse fuss, 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 go to car. I loved our daycare workers because they bonded with kid even though the baby definitely qualified as high emotional need, still snuggliest, all these years later. Could the mom have PPD or something else going on? NTA. Are you union? If so, get a shop steward. If not, get everything on record in email. I wouldn't trust your director to protect you in future.
Makes you wonder why she had a child in the first place. She obviously doesn't want to spend any time with it.
At my niece's first birthday party, she got a boo-boo or something and reached out to her daycare provider. I asked my sister if it bothered her, and she said no, that she was glad she loved her nanny and it made her happy that they were bonded since they spent a lot of time together. This lady is being ridiculous.
Not the asshole. It is a normal animal process for mammals, birds, etc. to bond with caregivers. You can't just make it not happen. Ask the daycare director to put specific instructions in writing on how you are supposed to interact with the children to avoid attachment. E.g., if the baby cries, are you supposed to not pick it up? Should you never smile at children in the center? Play dumb and cooperative and get it in writing. Ask for specific written policies like that workers cannot have the children bond with them. Find another job and turn the instructions over to whatever board certifies childcare centers.
My mom friends are desperately looking for a nannies. Have you thought of perhaps doing that instead? You have the education and experience. When I looked for a nanny for my son, some were asking to be paid $2.3K a month. IDK where you are, but if you are in the US, childcare is needed. Look into mommy groups or services like care.com.
Not the asshole. I'm studying form the same type of career. It should be well known that in that time babies develop a stronger emotional attachment with their main caregiver. Usually it is the mother, cause they spend more time with the baby in this stage of their development. It doesn't sound like this woman is in any way, shape or form ready to be a mother. Of course babies are loud. It's their only verbal way of communication.
My daughter's teacher calls her best friend, even bought her a first birthday present. I would much rather have the teacher be attached and know they are taking great care of her, than have one who does not give a crap. The director and parent are nuts.
Not the asshole. I also worked in an infant room, and the fact of the matter is that infants need to develop a trusting bond with their caregivers, and often these babies are in our care for more hours than they are with their parents, especially awake hours. It's normal for them to attach to us, and would be detrimental to their development if they didn't.
Not the asshole. Honestly, I'm a little worried about that baby's life at home. May just be being overly paranoid, but shouldn't that baby be happy to see their mom? If they pick a fuss each time they get picked up, that means the baby mustn't like her mother very much.
Oh my god, NTA. The fact that anyone is suggesting neglect for a child who clearly is neglected already is absolutely wild.
This is to be expected from some random idiot mother who fails to spend time with her child, but I'm sad to hear that your director is such a piece of trash.
Not the asshole. It makes sense that a baby is going to become attached to its primary caregiver, which is you. The baby only sees its mom for dinner, sleep, wake up, and breakfast. You are its life the rest of the time. Keep being awesome.
I'm a toddler teacher and you are a wonderful teacher. I can't imagine this, but then I pause and go, oh yeah. Some parents are crazy.
Used to work in the infant room too. This made me laugh out loud. She's not even working and has her baby with you the majority of the week. It would be odd if the baby didn't get attached to you. Any healthy, positive relationship with someone is good for the baby. This mom has deep-seated insecurity. Not the asshole.
Not the asshole. You give a baby one toy and they'll get attached to you for the day. You are raising that child. Does that mother want you to ignore and neglect her? Are you meant to ensure the baby doesn't reach her developmental milestones? No. You look after them and teach them. Like you're meant to. And your boss is a huge dick. At the very least there should have been a civil conversation about the problems. He should not have gone straight up and berated you for doing your job too well.
Not the asshole. Wow, just wow. Of course the baby is attached to the person they see the most. This is developmentally appropriate. I'm worried the mom might have some intense PPD going on. I'd definitely lawyer up op. Your supervisor should have backed you up and not demoted you. Sounds like a toxic work environment. Not the asshole. WTF does she expect? It's upsetting that the director does not have your back.
Wow. Just wow. I mean, I realize full well that mom may actually work from home, and I thoroughly appreciate the need for daycare because sometimes there simply isn't a choice. But why the heck have a baby and then let someone else raise it if you have a choice? And why deny the baby love and care for 60 hours a week? You can't just put the kid in a box and take it out for 108 hours a week, not accounting for the at least 42 but probably closer to 63 hours that the baby spends alone in a crib at night.